And thank you, Mr. Feinberg, for being here today. It's very important to hear from you because this affects so many of our business communities around the country. My question has to do with how you're going to make sure that you can maintain independence, given that you may be using BP claims personnel or field offices. How do you then make sure that it is independent from the fund? And will BP have an incentive to continue administering a claims process outside of the independent claims fund in an effort to minimize how much they ultimately pay out?
No. BP is transitioning as we speak to get out of the claims business and turn all of that over to the Gulf Coast Claims Facility, which I have been assured by both the administration and BP will be absolutely 100% independent from BP or the administration for that point. The administration's made it very clear they want it independent. They do not want to be micromanaging this. So I'm not concerned about that. To the extent that the existing subcontractors who have been working in the claims offices are qualified and know the issues and can help process claims expeditiously, great. To the extent that we make an independent judgment that changes should be made or supplementing the existing workforce, we will do that. But clearly, this program will be independent and will not be beholden to either the administration or BP.
Let me also ask, since property values are the easiest to measure relative to, say business claims, how are you going to balance the distribution of limited resources across different types of claims?
I don't think there are limited resources, first of all. BP has made it clear in its agreement with the administration that if $20 billion is insufficient, it will replenish what is needed to pay all eligible claims. The problem with the property claims is going to be eligibility, not compensation. How will we go about deciding when diminished property values are compensable and when they are not? That to me is more of a challenge than assuring adequate compensation.
Okay, my final question has to do with some of the recent reports that have indicated that the SBA has denied roughly 70% of claims. Insurers have already paid out some $400 million in claims. How do you envision that this independent claims fund will interact with both the insurance industry and the SBA, and if an entity receives or is denied funding from either the insurance company or the SBA, how will that factor into your assessment of a claim?
That's a very good question. I don't know the answer other than to say that we'll make an independent judgment as to the legitimacy and eligibility of any claim, quite apart from what SBA or an insurance company certainly has done. An insurance company's denial of a claim will be contractual. I mean, it may not be that. It may be that the insured is very eligible. The reason that the insured was denied insurance is probably related to what the contract says between the insured and the insurer, rather than any particular reason that I would deny the claim.
And I said it was my last question. I have one more since I have a little bit of time left, which is that given that you've already been paying 100% of claims up to now, and that it's unlikely that all claims are legitimate, what will you do to weed out fraud?
As I said earlier, we plan to get the help, we hope, of the best fraud weeder-outer there is, the Department of Justice Civil Fraud Division, and to the extent that they'll help us, wonderful. To the extent that we also have to retain some private investigative company to assist us in that task, we'll do that as well.
Thank you so much. I yield back.